What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video. So this is going to be a little quick one of the 5 things I don't really like about the Corsa VXR. Some of them probably relate to just a normal Corsa D, and obviously some towards the Corsa VXR. Obviously I do try and bring the content once a week. Obviously with the lockdown at the moment, there's not a lot I can really do at the moment, but you know, give it time. Hopefully end of this year, maybe the beginning of next year, more content on modifications and stuff like that will be coming to you. So let's get to the first one I don't really like about the Corsa VXR. Right then, let's start at number 5. That being is the blind spot that's behind the mirror. Let's see what I mean. Right there. Now that is an absolute headache. I know they've put a window in there, but it's such a big blind spot. When you come up to an island, if there's a car there, you just can't see it. It's such a poor design. This post may be a little bit too big or something, but I know they've put this window in to help you see, but I literally have to do that to make sure there's no car behind the mirror. So it's such a big blind spot on roundabouts. I've nearly pulled out on people several times due to these blind spots, and you have to sort of like naturally lean back and have a look to make sure there's no car in there. So that's my number 5. Right, number 4. The wing mirrors, they don't fold in, and because of this as well, they're a solid sort of mirror. It causes cracking on the wing mirror itself. You've probably heard of it yourselves before if you've bought mirrors or you've got a Corsa VXR. It cracks along the front of the wing mirror. I don't understand why they didn't have some sort of system where it can fold in. Obviously, if you lived on a narrow road or parked your car on like a road that has traffic going past, obviously usual cars, if you clip mirrors, the mirror just fold in. Whereas on these, it doesn't. It'll just smash off, causing God knows what damage. It could hit off and hit your door or whatever. I just think that's a really poor design by Vauxhall. Yes, the mirror looks nice, but the actual design of it isn't very good. I mean, they could have put some sort of system in where, like on the BMWs, they sort of tilt up when you fold them in, because they're solid mirrors on them, but when you press the button for the mirror to come in, they sort of like twist up. So that's another thing that's sort of an annoyance for me. Right, number 3, the glove box. I mean, what's that? It's literally what it says on the tin. Like, you just got absolutely no room in there. They could have made the back a little bit deeper just so you could put more stuff in, but that's just ridiculous how small that is. That's sort of another little annoyance of mine, how small. It's literally big enough for a pair of gloves, I suppose, so it is actually a glove box. So that's why you can bloody fit in there. But yeah, that's number 3. That's what annoys me. Probably all seen this coming is the gearbox. It's always a worry for me, like especially running the power and running it. When's my gearbox going to break? I shouldn't be having to think like that. You know, they should have made the gearbox a lot. Obviously, Vauxhall didn't have that in mind, where modifiers are going to up the power to ridiculous power. But I've known gearboxes fail on completely stock engines and just with no power. It's just a really poor design. The bearings, they just didn't make the end casing big enough to hold enough oil. Obviously, you can get this was revised later on, but on the earlier ones, obviously it's just one of them worries you have, like listening for noises and stuff like that. You're constant paranoid about the gearbox. So that's my number 2. Right, my number 1, Piston 4. You knew I was going to say it. You knew it was coming. But it's more the stigma of Piston 4 that annoys me. People have a Corsa VXR and immediately people are, oh, Piston 4 is going to go on you. The engine isn't that bad. Yes, Piston 4 is a hot cylinder. Yeah, it can be quite temperamental, but it's down to poor maintenance and people beating the hell out of them when they're cold. Like, they'll start the car when they're cold and just leather it up the road off the limiter. Or it's down to poor mapping. They take the car down to Bob's Remaps down at bobsremaps.com. He'll plug his little laptop in, load a generic map onto it, and he go, yeah, that's 250 brake now, mate, enjoy. And then a few months later, they're surprised when their car blows up and they're blaming the engine. It's not that. Warm your car, let your car warm up when it's cold. Don't kill it, let it warm up. Give it time and it will look after you. You don't have to forge them if you don't want big power. Obviously, I forged mine due to the amount of miles it had done. It had done 98,000 miles, and it was on the original engine, the Piston's original. And when they were took out, they were fine. There was nothing wrong with them. I just mapped it because I knew I was going to be having the car running at 300 brake. Well, that was my goal at the time. But yeah, that's just my annoyance of them. If you're going to have your car mapped, put a decent set of injectors in it, some 390cc's or some 613s, and take it to a reputable VXR tuner, and it'll be all right. they'll let you know. If you go to a proper tuner, they'll let you know they'll make sure all the AFRs are perfect and make sure the car's running bang on before they even touch it. Whereas if you just bring, your car could be, you know, it could have done a lot of miles. One of the pistons could be like that, a little bit down in compression, but not enough for you to notice. If you have a generic one put on, they're just going to whack it in, plug it in, and then map it. Whereas you go to a proper VXR tuner, they do health checks before the car actually gets mapped. So at least you'll know it's safe. At least you know the car's all right. But yeah, it's just one of my annoyances. Piston 4 does annoy me of the stigma of it more than anything, rather than the actual Piston 4 pop in. But you know, that's one thing. That's my number one thing that annoys me about them. Well, that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry it's a silly little one, but I just thought I'd do something, you know, to try and keep the content rolling every week. I might do one next week. If you guys enjoyed this one, I'll do another one next week of the top 5 things I like about the Corsa VXR. So let me know. Also, let me know if you agree with the things I've said. You know, is it things that annoy you as well? So as always, guys, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Drop me a like. I always appreciate the like and always appreciate comments, good and bad. So as always, I'll see you on the next one.